Okay, this is a review of Danny Williams' fight last night. First of all, I've got to say I was happy to see Danny Williams fighting again. I hadn't seen Danny Williams fight for years. It was great to see Danny Williams back in the ring. You know, the first thing that comes to your mind, Danny Williams when he fought Mike Tyson, Danny Williams when he fought, against Mark Potter, and the one arm come out of his shoulder and shoulder popped, and he knocked Mark Potter out of his left hand, stuff like that. Even him trying to challenge Vitaly Klitschko, him beating Audley Harrison. You think about things like that when you talk about Danny Williams. Of course, the Mike Tyson story, yeah, he was the guy that beat Mike Tyson, blah, blah, blah. They keep selling that up. And I knew that Danny Williams had been boxing, but it was behind closed doors in the sense that I didn't see what Danny Williams was actually doing. So, out of sight, out of mind. Last night, it wasn't out of sight, out of mind. It was the main event on a card in Russia. The first thing that I noticed of Danny Williams when he got in the ring was he's 47. His whole body structure looked different. Of course, when you get to the age, your body structure does. He looked like less muscular, looked very lean, very, very lean, almost sickly lean he looked. But then maybe that's just because the age. He's 47. He's no longer 25 or 30. But then, more worrying, he was sitting on a stool for the fight. Before the fight, he announced his name. He was sitting on a stool. Very odd behavior. I was like, here we go again. Another fight where, I'm going to turn up and take the money. Then it's all right. Let's see what Danny's got left. And just the sheer jab when his opponent, and no disrespect to the gentleman that won the fight against Danny Williams, it's not about him. It's really about Danny Williams. Just the jab alone. Good morning, Ruben. Just the jab alone was rocking Danny Williams. The first solid right hand that caught Danny Williams, he stumbled across the ring like a Saturday night drunk. And you could see every time this guy was hitting Danny Williams with a jab, you could see a little shake. It's like his punch resistance is absolutely gone. When you talk about shot, Danny Williams is shot to pieces. That's what you talk about. We talk about shot fighters. A lot of people around YouTube were calling Povetkin a shot fighter. No, Danny Williams is a shot fighter. No, you're boxing. Danny Williams is a shot fighter. Every punch that guy was landing, Danny Williams' legs were shaking and he looked off balance. And then he got hit with a punch, a hard right hand, another hard right hand, and he seemed confused. It's like his brain, the message from his brain to his body, it was a delayed reaction, and it just looked horrible. His nose was bloodied. He didn't know what was going on. He didn't know what, his brains looked scrambled. And the referee was there, and the referee just called it off. But it was horrible. Horrible to watch. And the question I ask these boxing associations, how, in the name of safety, is Danny Williams allowed to be in a boxing ring boxing? The whole thing is about protecting yourself at all times. Danny Williams can't protect himself. He needs protecting. When your punch resistance is gone, when the first good right hand you get, you're stumbling across the ring, that means that you are no longer able to do what you once did. Now, I'm the last man to come along and start telling the man you're not good enough anymore, or you can't do a job anymore. And he had six wins coming up before this fight. But I'm sorry, Danny Williams should never be allowed back in a boxing ring again. Period. It was disgusting. And the promoter, likable enough guy, that's not on. That's not on. That referee did a good thing the other night. He did a good thing. He stopped the fight at the right time. There should be a rule that is across boxing that stops people like Danny Williams boxing. I'm sorry. How is there not? How could they sanction that fight? Oh, well, they're both tall men. Really? Danny Williams needs protecting from himself. When a guy's punch resistance is gone, and he's not even got his wherewithals. Nah. Disgusting. Shouldn't be allowed back on TV. Shouldn't be allowed back in a boxing ring. And what are the medical tests? What are these medical tests that's allowing him to get back in the ring and box? Now, I've heard a lot of stories in my time. Fighters going in and having fights without brain scans. Fighters going in the ring and not being tested for PEDs. Fighters having brain damage or head injuries, but still boxing because the promoter needs the money. I've heard all sorts of nonsense like that. And I don't know. I didn't think some of these things were true. I thought they were just, things you say when you're in the heat of the moment, you're angry or you're just venting or you want to. But now, looking at this tonight, no. I mean, I would like to know who allowed this fight to go ahead and said, Danny Williams is fit to fight. Which doctor said he was fit to fight? And how did the board allow it to happen? Unacceptable. Now, listen. Julian Jackson wasn't allowed to box in the UK, yeah? Because of his eye. Yeah? Harold Graham was hitting Julian Jackson with his best shots. I was on the verge of stopping Julian Jackson. Julian Jackson pulled out a big right hand and knocked Jackson out. Knocked Graham out. You talk about different situations. Hello, Alessandro. You're right. You should never be licensed to fight again. How is there not a unified rule where if you can't get licensed somewhere, you can't get licensed anywhere? Well, I don't know. I know fighters who had scans in one country and then they may have had discrepancy with the board. They've got another country, got a second opinion, got a third opinion, got a fourth opinion, scans okay, and they're fought. Well, look at the situation between Chisora and Hay. The board didn't want to sanction that. So because the board said, no, we don't want to sanction that fight, they went elsewhere and got sanctioned for it. That's different. But this is unacceptable. Danny last fought in 2010. I don't know if that's because British board won't license him or he can't get on UK shows. Both. So when people use the word shot, this guy here, Danny Williams, is shot. This is what you mean by shot. When you can't defend yourself, your punch resistance is gone, and you need saving from yourself. Let's say Gene Jackson couldn't get licensed here, but Hearns took him to Spain instead. Yeah, happens. Not getting licensed on medical grounds should be universal across the globe. Well, should it? Should it? Let's say, for example, you've got beef with the board. And the board say, nah, you're not fighting again. You're not fighting again. Let's say you took the board to task on something that was they were in the wrong for. And said, you know what? To be spiteful, you're not going to fight again. Should they have that much power? Should they have that much power? I don't think they should. This Danny Williams situation is clear, though. He needs to retire, or he needs to be retired. The boxing associations need to retire this man. They say, you know what? After last night's performance, my friend, that's it. We don't want to see you in the ring again, period. Or we will not sanction your fights again. I don't know, Danny Williams. I mean, Danny Williams at one point was doing security work. You know, he's doing some security work for I understand. I don't know how that worked out. I don't know. I really would like to know why Danny Williams is still boxing. Is it because he can't help himself? If he's getting paid good enough money. He's boxing. He fought 82 fights across Europe. And he's being sold as the guy that beat Mike Tyson. I mean, if he's just earning enough money to pay his rent, then something seriously has gone wrong in this man's career. Do you understand what I'm saying to you all? It's not on. And again, I'm not one to tell another man, you know what, you're not good enough for this anymore. But in this situation, bro, you're too vulnerable. You're way too vulnerable. If they go through effort to create a fake medical issue and that's backed up by doctors, then I guess, yeah, that's the things you need to take into consideration. Saw somewhere he's still fighting to put kids through private school. Wow. That's deep. That's deep. Couldn't you do that being a trainer? Couldn't you do that being a trainer? You know, a man that's beaten Mike Tyson, I'm sure he could have done something off of that. Wrote a book. Opened up a gym. Do you know what I mean? I don't know, but he needs to be retired now. And I'm not sure how, as a trainer, I could align myself up with Danny Williams. Couldn't do it. How do you sleep at night? $30,000 per year per kid. Wow. Yeah. That is crazy money. He loves his kids. And he's willing to put his life on the line for his kids. That is truly admirable. It's truly admirable, and that's the thing. But those kids also would prefer to have their father alive than see him get beat up like that. It's not right. It's horrible to see. Absolutely horrible to see. I don't want to see it again. You know, I don't want to see it again. It was terrible to watch, but this is the sick side about our sport. There's the good, the bad, the ugly, and the downright sick. And this is the sick thing. You know? Main event. Remember, this is a main event. Think about this. A main event. Danny Williams is a main event. Top of the bill. In Russia. Top of the bill. There's nobody else that guy could have fought. Top of the bill in Russia. Come on. Come on. Sickening. Right, I'm out of here. I'll be back in a minute as I do my review of Umar Sadiq versus Fedor Chudinov. Thanks for watching as always.